Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The best day of the week. I'm coming to you live from the Minneapolis Airport Marriott. Yay. And I have discovered a hotel hack today that I've got to tell my friend Susan Elaine about, and all you travelers. Balance your computer on top of your ice bucket turned upside down. Novel. So, Teresa Linforce, one of our amazing capstone coaches, recently did a resiliency webinar in her role as the AONL chapter president for the fine state of Wisconsin. And she sent it to me. One of the things that she recommended in her resiliency webinar was post-shift huddles, like how to send your people home with their buckets filled up, right? And so, of course, I cased it, but I made it mine. Not saying I made it better, Teresa, but I made it my own. So resiliency is needed. We know that. That's why Sue and I, for a very long time, have had resiliency as a part of both our framework and also in the leadership bundle. But it's not just about your own self-care and creating a plan for yourself. It's leading resiliency for your staff as well. So let's refresh on what causes burnout. Okay, burnout is caused by the everyday stressors that go unresolved. Everyday stressors that go unresolved, where workload is really, really high and very exhausting and resources are low. And you can't always fix the workload issue for your staff, can you? I mean, for most of us, especially, this post-COVID, like everybody's reopening and they want their workload to be high, like we want people to come back to us, right? So how do you fix that? You can't, but you can coach people to, have the tools and equipment in their own, toolkit to be able to resolve it. And I do love AONL's work on this, where they say that a resiliency checklist is in competency. Competency in creating your own resiliency is just as important as knowing how to start an IV and throw a chest tube in, right? So remember, that when people, that negativity screams at us, positivity only whispers. So when people experience a really high workload or something negative happens to them at work, what do? They, negativity lasts in our body because our brains as human and in healthcare, two strikes against us, are a sponge for negativity, whereas positivity just rolls out of our brain like an egg on Teflon. But that because of this sponge, we absorb negative things that happen to us, things that we ruminate on after we go home at night, right? And it creates cortisol release, and it can last up to 26 hours in your body. This negativity just eating away at you and tearing away the resources that may have filled you up throughout the day. So what you need to know is, hello, your people come back to work within 26 hours, right? So how do you stop that? They went home with their buckets sucked dry. They went home with toxins, going through their body, cortisol being released in a steady stream. They go home to families who are not hearing anything great about the workplace, right? They're not hearing anything great about you as an employer. They're not hearing anything great about, healthcare as a profession. What they're hearing is, mom or dad, brother, sister, son, daughter are sick and tired, right? Sick and tired. So how do you stop that? And, I think post-shift huddles is a great way to do that. We are called as leaders to put resources in their hands, right? What if a post-shift huddle was one of those resources to make negativity stop screaming at them and the whispers of positivity come through at the end of the shift as they support each other and walk out the door? So I know what you guys are thinking, right? You're thinking, Jane, are you stinking kidding me right now? There is a stampede. People are breaking their faces trying to get at the time clock fast enough to get the heck out the door. And with 12-hour shifts, I'm not there, sister, right? So, yes, I know, I get that. All right. I get that. But what if they knew what they were taking home? What if they knew that this unresolved conflict that happens to them throughout the day, unresolved problems that crop up, and they can't resolve what their role was in it, unresolved issues that happen between coworkers during the day, that when they go unresolved, it's truly killer to them, that it's biting away at their resiliency, and soon they won't have any resiliency left. Their buckets will be sucked dry, and they'll be crispy, right? They'll be crispy. It happens very, very insidiously, and it takes a while, and they can't relate it to one incident. It's many over a course of time, right? There's many over a course of time. So what if you got somebody else to run this for you, be it a charge nurse, and really, I truly believe that nursing staff, any group of employees leaving at the end of the day, could run this by themselves if they were trained. If they were trained appropriately, they could absolutely do this by themselves. So how does it begin, right? A check-in, post-shift huddle. Everybody's got their lunch bags. They got, purses, backpacks, maybe coats on, whatever, still punched in because this is very valuable. Is everyone okay? Are we all okay? If we're not, what happened today to make us not okay, right? Do you have questions circling around, things that didn't go well, and you don't know if you're the only one that experienced it? What frustrated you about today? Now, I want to reassure you that this is not a vent session about you as the boss, about, can you believe she gave us so many admissions today and she doesn't even understand? We have to be able to vent. The key to great resiliency is great relationships. The key to great resiliency is 4 a.m. friends. The key to great relationships are, why is it so healthy for us to go out and have a glass of wine with our best friends? It's so healthy because they listen to you, right? They listen, they understand. Creating best friends at work who can rely on each other is a key way for engagement, but it's also a key thing to do for resiliency, and allow them a safe place to say, this did not go well for me today. I feel so frustrated. Why do I feel so frustrated? You guys were all there with me. What happened, right? But after a period of time, below the line, as we call it, then we got to creep back out. Right, we got to creep back out. We got to say, all right, guys, this may not get resolved today. We might have to take up this conversation tomorrow, but we have to go home with positivity. We can't take this belly fat cortisol home with us. All right. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? So we have to list 3 great things. What 3 great things happened today for all of us? Right? And even if you have some really negative Nellies that can only say, well, I have the next 3 days off, that's what 3 great things are. That's what makes people in healthcare less resilient, is because we just gut stuff out. We just plow through. We just say, I only have 6 more shifts before I have 3 off. We have to train people better. We have to lead resiliency better. And so listing 3 great things, which you have heard us talk about from the Duke Resiliency collaboration, from the book by Erica Oliver, from the work of Marty Seligman, listing 3 great things at the end of your day can turn around depression without medications, can make it so that people feel filled up and positive before they go home to people they love and don't have anything left to give those people, the very people that have supported them to get where they are today. So what also happens when people know the expectation is they list 3 great things at the end of the day is they have to be thinking about it all day long. They have to notice positivity happening to them. So they turn their brains on to positivity, and then the negative things that happen to them throughout the day, the bucket suckers, the things that maybe a month ago were causing them to lose resiliency are, this happened the other day. This is how Mary Beth dealt with it. I'm going to deal with it today as well. Okay? So 3 great things. Try it for 21 days. Try a post-shift huddle. Uh, you know, make it happen in your work world and see if 21 days people form a new habit and can do it without you. Find the time. This is worth it to keep your valuable people and to prevent them from suffering, like truly suffering from burnout. Great news! The next module going live after changing how we change, but soon, in the month of July is going live in Capstone EDU is our module on resiliency. So check that out. Have a great day and a great weekend.